What are triplet rhythms in music and why do they matter? Keep watching and learn the theory behind triplets in music, and note that this is the first video in a mini-series of videos all about triplet counting and how to practice triplets so that you can play them accurately and in time. Hi, I'm Fiona from Learn Music Together, and I share videos every Tuesday to help adults who are learning to play a musical instrument grow and develop their musical skills so that they can play music better and more confidently. In this video, I'm going to cover the theory behind triplets in music and what implications a triplet has to the mathematical values of the notes and how to know the total value of a triplet beat. Understanding the theory will make playing those triplets easier, which is why I'm starting this series of videos with the theory behind triplets. Now don't worry for now how to play and practice triplets, as I'll be covering this in other videos within this mini-series. So keep an eye out because they'll be released over the next few weeks. So please do hit that subscribe button and notification bell so that you don't miss future videos in this mini-series. In music, triplets are represented by the number 3. The number can be written above or below the notes, it doesn't matter. You might also get a curved line or a square bracket with the number 3. There is no difference in the meaning of any of this, they're just different ways that musical additions write the sign for a triplet. The most important thing is that you see the number 3, because without that 3, it's not a triplet. Usually in music, beats are divided into 2 equal parts. For example, a semibreve can be divided into 2 minims. If you're in America, that's a whole note, so a whole note can be divided into 2 half notes. A minim can be divided into 2 crotchet beats, so that's a half note which can be divided into 2 quarter notes, and a crotchet can be divided into 2 quavers. So again, that's a quarter note which can be divided into 2 eighth notes. However, there are times when a music beat needs to be divided into 3 equal parts, and that's where a triplet comes in, because a triplet is used to divide a beat into 3 equal parts. The definition of a triplet is 3 notes played in the time of 2. And remember, a triplet is always written with a number 3 either above or below the notes. So using a triplet sign allows you to divide a crotchet, so that's a quarter note, into 3 equal parts rather than 2. Whilst quaver triplets, that's eighth note triplets, are the most common, you should note that a triplet can be used to divide any note value by 3. Now to work out the value of the beat that the triplet fits into, you add up just 2 of the 3 notes. So 3 triplet quavers are played in the time of a crotchet because a quaver plus a quaver equals a crotchet. Now if you're in America, that's 3 triplet eighth notes are played in the time of a quarter note because an eighth note plus an eighth note equals a quarter note. 3 triplet crotchets are played in the time of a minim because a crotchet plus a crotchet equals a minim. So in American terminology, that's 3 triplet quarter notes are played in the time of a half note because a quarter note plus a quarter note equals a half note. And 3 triplet semiquavers are played in the time of a quaver because a semiquaver plus a semiquaver equals a quaver. So in American terminology, that's 3 triplet 16th notes are played in the time of an eighth note because a 16th note plus a 16th note equals an eighth note. Whilst triplet rhythms are a way of dividing beats equally by 3, you don't always have 3 separate notes in a triplet. Here are some examples of triplets that only have 2 notes, but they're still played as a triplet, which means the value of those notes will now change because they've got that number 3 indicating that they're a triplet that's written either above or below those notes. In this example, you can see that we've only got 2 notes underneath our bracket that has a number 3. We've got a crotchet and a quaver, or a quarter note and an eighth note. But because it's got that bracket with the number 3, it's played as a triplet. Now normally in 2/4 time, a crotchet would be worth 1 beat and a quaver would be worth a half. However, when this rhythm is written as a triplet, the crotchet now has the value of 2/3 and the quaver has the value of 1/3. So let's break that down so we understand it a little bit better. There are 3 quavers in a crotchet, so each one of those triplet quavers is worth 1/3 of the beat. A triplet crotchet is therefore worth 2/3 because a triplet quaver plus a triplet quaver equals 2/3. Now you'll notice I'm only using the British terminology here, and that's because I find it less confusing. In American language, notes are named as fractions, and I think when we're talking about mathematical values of notes, the labelling beats as like an eighth note as a fraction becomes quite confusing when you're talking about an eighth note then becoming a third of the beat. So I am going to stick to British terminology because I think it's always worth knowing both, and in this instance the British terms lend themselves better to understanding the mathematical values of the beat. Now this rhythm that I've just been discussing is used in swing music when the quavers are played unevenly. You may have seen at the top of a piece of music when it says 2 quavers equals 1 triplet crotchet and 1 triplet quaver. And when you see this, it indicates that all the quavers, all those eighth notes in the music are to be swung. And it's, in a way, it's using triplets to do that. Now, to work out the value of the beat when you have different rhythms within your triplet can be a little challenging. The most reliable way is to add up the total value of the notes normally, as if they weren't a triplet, then divide that by 3 and times your answer by 2. You can use this method whether you use British or American terminology. And I'll explain it here using the British mathematical values, but I have written the American values underneath. Now I know this next slide looks a little daunting, but stay with me as it will make sense. Maths and music definitely go hand in hand, so don't be afraid to do a little bit of working out during your practice with a pen and paper. So here we've got 2 quavers and 2 semiquavers. So if we add up the mathematical values of those notes normally, as if they weren't a triplet, that's a half plus a half plus a quarter plus a quarter, which equals 1 1/2. Now we're going to divide that 1 1/2 by 3, so the answer is a half, and then we times that answer by 2. So this rhythm is played in the total value of 1 crotchet beat, or 1 quarter note beat. Here are a couple more examples of triplets that use other note values. In my next example, the triplet includes 2 crotchets and 2 quavers. So if we add up the value of the notes as if they weren't in a triplet, we get the total number of beats as 3. Now if we divide 3 by 3, the answer is 1, and then if we times 1 by 2, the answer is 2 beats. So this triplet rhythm is played in the total time of 2 crotchet beats, or you could say 1 minim. Here our triplet has 1 quaver and 4 semiquavers, and again if you add up those values as if they weren't a triplet, you'll get the answer of 1 1/2, and if you divide 1 1/2 by 3 and then times your answer by 2, the answer is 1. So this triplet rhythm is played in 1 crotchet beat. I'm going to cover how to count these triplet rhythms later in this mini-series, but for now, understanding the theory and the maths is what we're focusing on. You can also have rests within a triplet, like the example you can see on the screen right now. Here, the second quaver is written as a rest. Now the value of the rest is affected in the same way by the triplet sign. So the rest here is no longer worth a half, it's worth 1/3. This rhythm is common in swing and shuffle music, and I'll explain how to practice and count this rhythm in the next video of this series, which is all about playing quaver triplets or eighth note triplets. I hope you've enjoyed this video and learned something about maths and music. If so, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you're interested in learning more about music theory, I have a course called Music Theory in Practice, and you'll find more information on that in the description below this video. Unlike other theory courses which just focus on the theory, in my course you'll learn how the music theory works in practice. My courses are designed specifically for adults and include workbooks to help you gain confidence, plus helpful exercises to practice on your instrument so that you understand how to apply that music theory, and that will help you play music better. Remember, this is the first in a mini-series of videos on triplets in music, so do check back to watch the other videos, which will be put together in a playlist as soon as they are released. For now, thanks for watching.